Alright, I'm pretty sure it's going to take a little while for people to get here for Evan's stream. I know Evan wasn't that finished yet, so I'll just chill right here for a bit. If anybody has already arrived, how's it going? This is Joys of Sorrow. Welcome to the Joys of Sorrow channel. I'm just going to quickly get everything set up here so that I can show everybody what I did. I mean, that's pretty good right there. Alright. So, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Little piece of wood right there. There we go. Alright. Okay, as long as I don't shake that table, everything should be fine. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Joys of Sorrow channel. I am Joys of Sorrow. I'm redoing the intro again because I did it earlier and nobody was here. Oh wait, let me turn on the live chat. There we go, I'll turn it on live chat. Okay, so if you guys didn't know already, I am going back to Slab City sometime next month. Just gotta get some dental work done and other things, but as I mentioned in the last video or last stream, I don't want to take too much with me in the sense that I have to have a whole tent and base camp set up that I'm going to have to, pop out of the tent and spend time building. How's it going, Lynn? So what I talked about last time was was watching on YouTube some people turn their Honda Fits and other hatchback vehicles basically into campers, and I thought, well, why the fuck couldn't I do that? I have a shop that I have access to at the moment. I have some spare wood materials, so I decided to go ahead and do that. Actually, when I started doing this was around the time that Slab City News or Evan started streaming, so I actually ended up finishing this up before Evan finished his stream. So sorry, guys, that I didn't get to... Hey, how's it going, Deborah? I'm sorry I didn't get to show you guys exactly how I did everything right from the spot. Hey, that not me. So I do apologize for that, but I'm seizing the moment in the little time I have right now. We don't do Christmas Eve at my house or with the family. We do Christmas Day. So my son is with his mom, with the mother of my child, and he's spending today with them, and he's going to spend tomorrow with us. So, all right, let me get straight to show you because I don't have a lot of charge on the battery here. Let's flip this camera. So, I basically made a wood floor, or wood frame floor out of sheet wood. You guys remember in the last stream, this is a bunch of wood material from a job a while back that I was actually saving up for somebody in the slabs. We had a falling out, so therefore it's my material, so I needed something to do with it. Hey, Nikki. You are watching my Honda Fit slowly turning into a little camper, so for when I go over there in January. I don't want to take my big old canopy tent and all that, so I decided I'll just try to convert my car into something I can camp into. So, first thing I did was, I'll show you guys, made the bottom board right here, which this bottom board for the rear is going to actually stay there permanently. These boards right here where I have the seat down, these are just temporaries. I could probably drive with the configuration that it is right now, but just in case, I just made it pieces so that I could easily take it on and off. I can pull the seat back. Seat will adjust 100%. So I started with this. The Honda Fits have a cover on their trunks for their tires, but it's usually a cardboard cover. So since I pretty much let that one go to shit, I decided, fuck it. Well, I'm going to make a wood floor for it. I might as well just make the wood cover for it. And then I had these little shims on the side. They are not perfect, obviously, but it helps to kind of even it out just a little bit. And I do need it to be able to open back up and down. So then I cut a few pieces up more so that I could add extra support. to that back piece there. So the side piece is 3 pieces. And then obviously this main piece here is 1 piece. So that slides in. All right, that's the main piece there. Then the additionals, which is that piece there. I'm actually thinking of recutting these side pieces. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm not really seeing any need to. And the only reason I would really want to do so is because I have these little gaps right here. They don't really, once I get the padding and everything, they're really not going to do anything. Just aesthetically, they kind of get on my nerves. That's pretty much it. Hey, H7. So, who haven't I said hi to? I see Nikki. Hey, Nikki. Mad Mac. How's it going, Mac? H7, I just said hello, but I'll say it again. How's it going? But yeah, pretty simple. So, like I said, I pretty much started the moment Evan started his stream, and I was actually going to start my stream myself, but I figured, hey, Evan's streaming. I don't want to miss it. So I shut off, decided to do it while he was streaming, and I actually didn't think I would finish this quickly. So, well, I mean, it's a good thing, right? So, as you guys saw, I laid down, oh wait, let me flip this camera around. I decided just to test it. I have this old Mexican blanket where a lot of the stuffing is pretty much already come out of it, and I just pretty much rolled it on, and it seems to work just fine. So for the stuffing, I have a few options. I'm thinking I can go to Walmart. I saw at Walmart they have a 1/2 inch to inch and a half thick foam or mattress padding. I could probably pick up some of that mattress padding, like put it in between this, and then maybe just stitch it up. I'm not a good seamster or sewing person, but I mean, it would be flexible. It will give me padding. That way I can mold it as I need it inside the car. This is also warm too. The other option I have considered is, he doesn't love me long time, haha, Deborah. Who does it? What are you guys talking about? Okay. But yeah, I mean, I could just sew this shot, sandwich some foam in the middle, and pretty much call that like a rolling bed. As long as it works, that's what matters. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, hopefully it works, but I also want to I do want to be comfortable too. Even though it's going to be probably just a night or two that I'm spending. But yeah, aside from that, I do want to get some sandpaper, sand down some of the edges on this stuff, especially the one that's going to stay down here permanently, so that, you know, I don't get any splinters or anything trying to set it up. But I'm actually surprised how fast I was able to get this done. I didn't honestly think I'd be done. I didn't think I'd be done with the whole thing in an hour, let alone a half hour. You know, I was thinking maybe I'll be here till 6 o'clock and then I'll finish. But no, I was actually able to finish pretty early. Now, the only issue I do have, I have a little bit of space right here, but I can reach under it, so that's not exactly a bad thing. I can keep a weapon or something stashed in there if I feel anything, some snacks or something like that. Right now, it does shift a little bit, or, you know, the board shift a little bit, but aside from that, it works. It really works. It's going to be cold here next week in the 30s. Yeah, Nikki, that's another thing I'd figured too. So, I mean, again, this is just going to be padding. This is not the blanket that I'm taking with me to cover myself with. So I'll get some foam padding in there. I'm getting a different sleeping bag because the sleeping bag I took with me last time is a warm weather sleeping bag. I'll need a cold weather sleeping bag. I have long johns, and some others, some other things. I have pretty much what I need. Oh yeah, I know Freeman right now is really having that issue. I see. I know you guys have probably been in his chat room. He's trying to look for a roof. Pretty much. I don't have nothing against Freeman. Freeman's an okay guy, but Freeman wants too much right away, unrealistically. He has great ideas. The micro teardrop thing that he's talking about, I think it's not. I think it's actually a pretty good idea. A micro, trailer that he can make out of wood that he can pull from a bicycle. That's not a bad idea. I understand that, but that's all going to need time. And if you're going to build it yourself, you need to have somewhere. You need to have somewhere where you can have your roots planted, even for a moment, just so that you can get your build going. Because if you don't, it's going to be a real hassle and a pain for the guy. But to each their own, right? I'm over the ones who come on and expect the world given to them. Yeah, I've noticed there's a lot of people out there like that right now. And correct me if I'm wrong, Nikki. Does that seem to be the kind of crowd that seems to be coming to Slab City more and more frequently? Especially with the more the younger crowd than the older crowd. Seems like it, yeah. All right, let's go inside and show you guys in here. So, yeah, this is pretty much where I'll be laying down. There'll obviously be a pillow or something. Now I can move. And obviously lean it to give myself more space. I'll show you guys. Obviously my feet do stick out a little bit, but it's not enough so that I couldn't just bend my knee a little bit and move this leg to the side. Yeah, Nikki, you know what? It's fucking. I'm really disappointed that a lot of young people are like that. But the fucked part is, anybody who was a Democrat in the 2000s and the 90s, just like I was, it's kind of our fault. I have to, as a former Democrat, take responsibility for my, actions and decisions in the past, and that is actually one of them. I grew up with people, especially politically strong, opinionated people who pretty much told us that that's how it's supposed to be, that the world is honestly supposed to be handed to you. You have a right to everything. Yeah, there's no reason for anyone to force you to work for something. And this concept of free is driven into that into the heads of people by a lot of these Democrats. And by the way, I know Deborah mentions that she's a Democrat. But I want to ask you, Deborah, because you are older than me, and I've had a lot of people tell me this: the Democrats of the 1990s, the Democrats of the 2000s, are not the Democrats of they're not the Kennedy era Democrats. They're not the true let's make a difference Democrats of the 1960s and 1970s and 1960s. The Democratic Party has pretty much adopted this indoctrination of extreme leftism. One thing that I used to admire about the Democrats is that back in the early 2000s, there was a lot of centrists in the Democrats, even though the word centrist wasn't really a big thing then. But then I started knowing the centrists disappear from the Democratic Party. Centrists didn't want to be associated with any side anymore. And I started asking myself, why are the centrists leaving? And then I started realizing it. It's because the left slowly and slowly started adopting this concept of talking bad, talking shit about your rivals is okay. Talking shit about the other side is okay. Dehumanizing the other side is blatantly okay. And it really started pissing me off because when I became a Democrat in the '90s, and I know, but and I say in the '90s, I didn't have the right to vote then. I was still a kid, but again, since I was a child, I've been hanging around these people. But around then, that's when I really started noticing that it wasn't okay for Republicans or anybody with a right wing mindset to make any act of violence or even defend themselves violently against somebody. But if the left was the one enacting that violence, or if a person of color, or this is the worst one yet, if a person of color is acting out on that violence, they have the right to. Another thing I want to give you an example. There's a guy that I follow quite a bit, and he said something really fucking stupid today. His name's the Yankee Marshal. He's a gun channel. He was talking about the Sargon of Akkad matter, and oh my God, Joy is sorrow. I need your help, buddy. What's up, Sam? But as I was saying, he started going off about how races own words. If you guys don't know what's going on, the whole Sargon of Akkad issue is a bit iffy. He got kicked off of Patreon, honestly, for bullshit reasons, because Patreon doesn't have Patreon doesn't have a a policy that actually doesn't that allows them to shut you down because of what you did somewhere else. And technically, I don't believe that you should be allowed to do that. Let's say, for example, if Nikki owned a platform. Now, if I did something else in a platform that wasn't Nikki's, and then Nikki kicked me off of her platform, then that's going to be an issue. Well, I know how you are when it comes to handling things civilly. City, well, I'm having a San Diego sanitation worker that has made threats to me. Well, on my live, hold on. Threats to me. Well, on my live stream, need some help reporting him. Government is in the Greek and Latin word combined. Okay, hold on. There's nothing to do about that. Got a gunshot once. So threats. Okay. Sam, right now, you're not going to be able to do anything about it. It's the holidays. Most likely, these people's supervisors aren't even working and they're not going to care. The best thing you can do at that point would be to send that video, find the email address of the Department of Sanitation. There should be a contact us page. There might just be a generic email. If you do find that, Google Department of Sanitation San Diego, and try to find the emails to basically every supervisor you can. And don't just send it to one. Don't send a link to your stream to one person. Send it to multiple people, because if you just send it to one or two people, it's gonna get ignored. The other thing you can do, obviously, would be to just leave it on. Leave it on. Do not take it down. Hey, don't worry about it, Sam. Don't take down the stream. And let's see, what else could you possibly do? If he threatened your life, you could, you could go to the police and file a police report. It would actually serve better in your favor if you did so, even if the police don't take you seriously and might want to laugh at you. Don't let that intimidate you from making the report. If you want to make the report, they still have to write it down, and just make sure you keep a copy of the report. Also, then send a copy of that report to the supervisors as well. At that point, the only other thing you can really do is, if you want to get crazy with it, but I can't promise you anything, would be contact the ACLU. You can contact the ACLU and show them, hey, you know what, a city worker has just been harassing me. I'm homeless with my animals. They might pick it up, they might not. So, those are the like the right at the top of my head, the first three things I can honestly think of. So yeah, contact Oh, so you're not, if you're not the only, no, that's a good thing to tell me then. If you're not the only person that he's done that to, then what you can do is go look for the other homeless people that he's done that to and interview them. That would help in your favor. But again, showing that off to their superiors, you can, hell, I would honestly go to the city. Another thing you could do is go to the city hall website for San Diego, and find the addresses of everybody on that console and email it to them. Well, he threatened him with confrontation at some, but he's still a public official. He's still a public official. You can't be doing that without proper cause. So, and even then, he's not a police officer. He's not a law enforcement agent. So he cannot act as a law enforcement agent. For example, let's say for example, if Sam was making a mess and Sam was in the wrong, that guy could not legally do anything about it, and him putting hands on Sam could honestly cost him his job and the city a lawsuit. So, the only thing that guy can legally do is basically tell his superiors to let them know, hey, this guy is obviously, being an issue, and then they would have to call the police, and then the police would have to remove Sam. Okay. But in that case, Sam, the best thing you can do is go to the police and file a police report. That way, if the dude tries to say something stupid the next day, he's probably not, considering tomorrow's Christmas. The last thing he wants is to fucking do any paperwork that he had an incident. You could do that too, Sam. Here's the thing with the news, go with local. Go with a local news outlet first, because they'll be faster to pick it up, or statewide or more national place will more easily brush it down to the side. If you can get video interviews of other homeless people saying that they've had the same problem with that person, or videos having the same problem with that person, that'll help as well. And again, the police report will just give you that kind of credibility to say, hey, he's the one that made the threat, and I'm going to report this. So, and if those other people want to make the report as well, that would also help out too. And then the only other thing I could probably say is, look, fine, watch out if he comes back in the morning and tries to do that something stupid. Get it all on tape. No, I'm pretty sure. I'm talking about most of the stuff. I don't take a mess. I pick up my hair. I don't leave a mess, and I don't leave a mess. No, I'm pretty sure, Sam. I'm pretty sure the guy is just. Here's the thing. I do know. I haven't been to San Diego in a while, but the last time I think I was in San Diego was 4 years ago. I went for Comic-Con 2014. San Diego has had a real big issue with the homeless, and I'm not saying this in the sense of the homeless being there. I'm saying in the sense that some of the homeless have actually gotten very abusive. I mean, I've been homeless myself. Sam pretty much brought one excellent point that every homeless person should take to heart, and that is clean the fuck up after yourself. You guys would be amazed how many fucking homeless people do not clean up after themselves. They just leave their shit and walk away, only to make another fucking mess anywhere else. Now, unfortunately, that's become the stereotype, and well, I know it does suck, Sam. Believe me, I know it sucks. I can't blame people for having that stereotype. Regardless, that's not any reason for that guy to treat you like that, especially if he works for the city. So yeah, the four things I can think of right now again is send that video to his superiors in his department, send it to the local city hall, and send it to local news and media outlets. Second would be make a police report. Well, all you do, it's not that hard, Sam. Just Google, Google. All you have to do is just patiently use Google for everything. Write down the emails that you need to send it everything to, and all you have to do is you just have to write the email once. You put the link. You don't have to put the video in there. You don't have to. And you don't have to attach the video file. You just copy paste the link to the email, and you can send that one email to various people at once. And actually, that might even help you because if the department sees that you send it to both the city and then to the general media, that might make them more nervous to actually to respond to the situation faster, saying that hey, he's not we're not the only ones that he's bringing this attention to, and they might even just try to damage control things right away and apologize and at least apologize. I mean, well, at the most apologize, because a lot of times the best thing you can actually hope for is they send somebody else and they leave you alone. Well, again, I've been homeless too, so I know it's not always that great. All right, so yeah, Sam. I mean, that's pretty much all I can think of on the fly. Um, Yeah, there you go, man. If he tries to hurt you, yeah, you got the stun gun. Get it on video. You have a right to defend yourself. He's not a law enforcement officer. He cannot, remove you from the area. If he wants to remove, you know what? That's the next thing. The next time you see him and he tries to start shit, you tell him you're gonna exercise your right to defend yourself. Because if he wants you fucking removed, he can go and call the fucking cops to have you removed. But if he tries to do it himself, he is a government official assaulting a citizen. And let's see how well that's going to fucking go for them in court. Because even if it's California, and California does a lot of fucked up shit, usually 9 out of 10 times it comes down to the citizen winning the case over the city official or, a private corporation. Hey, no problem, man. I'm sorry to hear that you're going through that. Best of luck to you. I really hope that you can get this settled soon as possible and as civilly as possible, man. You take care and keep yourself warm and the animals warm tonight, all right? So, all right, guys. So let me show you just a little bit of the inside here. So, basically, thanks to this setup, I'm gonna have plenty of room to fuck around with in here. So I'll be able to carry my coolers and stuff there, the tarps, my bags. I mean, I'm not taking all of that, obviously, but just knowing that I'll confidently have the room to have it all is great. I'll have the room to have Mocha, although I don't think I'm actually going to bring Mocha along with me for the trip. I haven't really decided yet if it's going to be a short trip. I'd rather she stay with my kiddo. If she's going to be too much of a hassle for the house, then I'll just, then I'll have to bring her with me. But it is nice to see that I do have the room to keep her in here. Yeah, I am. And again, I'm pretty stunned that I got it done as fast as I could. So again, here I have obviously more room to put stuff. My feet should stay mainly around, my feet and body should stay mainly around this general area. And yeah, I mean, the way I have this set up, I honestly think I probably will be able to just drive with it as is. Because I do want to take some stuff with me. I still want to take some fertilizer to Alien and some worms. There's not a lot of fishing going on right now, and a lot of people don't use the worms, so the worms can actually I can just buy them up for I think it's like $2 and change for a pack of 25. So if I get $10 worth of worms and some at least like 5 cubic feet of soil. Alien should have a nice start for like a nice little fertilizer slash caster setup. Okay, my phone. Okay. Oh yeah. Also picked this up the other day, guys. Check this out. So if you guys don't know, I really would like to do a stream at the store, but because of the way my phone is, I can't do this. There is a chain of stores that has been opening up here in California. I don't know if they're in the West Coast or anywhere else. It's called Daiso. They're basically Japanese dollar stores. Everything is either $1.50 unless otherwise marked. The most expensive thing I think I've seen on at that store is about $10, $12. Nothing goes anything past that. But this guy right here went for about, yeah, it doesn't have any other pricing on it, so it went for about $1.50. But it's basically a little mini grow rack. And I thought, wow, that's actually pretty cool. Now imagine if you could just dig a little ditch, dig a little hole on one side, deep enough, and then a little further down, just another hole you can feed wood and air into. And you have a little area, little surface area you can cook some food in. For $1.50, it's that's pretty neat. So, and unlike the bigger version that I already have, this one actually has legs on it. It has little folding legs. All right. So, I'm gonna probably call this quits in a few minutes, guys. I am running out of power. Again, I am so happy that I was able to get this all done. There is my inflatable kayak, which is patched, but it's been ignored now since I got the other kayak. I should really not ignore that. But again, seats, I have room here. I have some stuff in the front right now, so but I'm definitely going to have room to take plenty of things. I'll take food. I'm going to take that sun shelter. I'm going to take the tarp. I will put the tarp over just like I had planned to. The only thing that I still need to figure out about putting the tarp over is I want to be able to open and shut this door without it affecting too much the tightness or the tartness of the tarp. So I am still trying to figure that out. The only idea I've thought of is I have some scrap 3/4 inch pipe from the extended flagpole that I was making for the hard shell kayak that I just got. Okay, so yeah, no, that's too low. Basically what I want to do is I'm gonna get another PVC pipe that's just long enough so that it can come up to here, you know, so that I can see it around here, and I could run a piece of paracord down to the sunshade, so that again I have a way to keep the tarp set up pretty nice. It's gonna stay tight, and I can open and close this door without needing to fuck up the tarp or fuck up the shelter. Other options I'm doing too is, and I'll have to actually I can do that for next time. Next time I stream some more work, I'm gonna do is I need to make a windshield cover for my front windshields for the side and the side windows as well. So that's actually going to be quite a project in itself, because I got the big windshield in the front, I got the two little minis in the front, the passenger and driver doors, the back rear doors. I also have to do these little windows as well. Now obviously, because it'll be covered here, I'd have no reason to make a window or a cover for that there. So I'm just gonna leave that as is. Aside from the covers, I told you guys before, on Amazon there are these basically mesh nylon sleeves that you can pull over the top of the car right here. And then what I've seen people do is they'll put Velcro usually on this trim part, and they can and to the mesh, so they could stick it on, and that way they could open and close their windows without having bugs coming in and out of the car. So those are about like $13-15 a pair, sometimes 20. But it's almost there. It's almost there. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. It is Christmas Eve. Just want to say thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. And I hope you guys get plenty of gifts and enjoy your holidays. All right, have a great one.